Astronaut Walt Cunningham, the last surviving member of the Apollo 7 mission.
Another group of unsung astronauts stepped up to ensure the race to the moon would continue.
NASA is mourning the death of former astronaut Walt Cunningham.
Of a true space pioneer, Apollo astronaut Walt Cunningham.
Communications scheduled.
Do you have any expectations or aspirations for either your children or grandchildren or children around the world for their future?
I would hope that not just the young people, but all the people around the world would develop an increased awareness of the value of having risk in our lives.
The fifth Saturn 1B flight vehicle, designated AS-205, was launched on October 11th from Launch Complex 34, Apollo 7, into Earth orbit. AS-205 performed flawlessly as it lifted astronauts Walter Schirra, Don Isley, and Walter Cunningham to what would be an almost 11-day stay in space.
My name is Walter Cunningham. My biggest contribution is having played a tiny role in a task that moves society and culture forward. I had a tiny little spot. I think I was the 19th American to go up into space. So it wasn't even a first, but we helped change thinking. To this day, I still think I was one of the best fighter pilots in any squadron I was ever in.
NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Well, they were doing something that had never been done before. They were flying higher, farther, faster. Well, the singular objective was to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth in this decade, as President Kennedy said.
Why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain?
It wasn't for the glamour. It wasn't for anything except the thrill, the capability to do it. So we became the backup for Apollo 1. And that was about 3 months before Apollo 1 was supposed to go. The crew died in about 19 seconds. The shock of that was, we had done essentially the same test the night before. It was not nice, felt sad about it, but we were in a business where we knew you got to expect losses. It's an attitude that we had about trying to accomplish what had never been accomplished before. We went around the Earth. We went to the moon.
We're right where we wanted to be. Has wings. And it looks like a great place.
And people benefited from it. We're now pushing to about going to Mars. And eventually, we probably will. Apollo 7 was the first of what I call 5 giant steps to get a man to the moon.
Apollo 7, the first manned flight in this nation's Apollo program.
The United States completed one of its most remarkably successful tests yet of man and machine in space.
So as I look back on it, I just feel very fortunate to have participated in the first of those giant steps.
High atop everything. High atop everything.
Looks good.
What did I think about when I saw the planet there? Myself, when I was looking down. All of a sudden you see how small it is. You will begin to realize more and more how tiny you are in the universe, how irrelevant you are as a person compared to everything else that's going on. I don't think you have much control over your legacy, and I think your legacy in most cases only lasts maybe one generation. I think that somebody like Neil Armstrong, who was the first man to land on the moon, I think his legacy will probably last for 500 years. But I think my legacy will be pretty much irrelevant in another 20 years. I try to encourage people today to recognize that your life is dictated to a great degree by what you create out of your life. They told him the destiny controlled the way his life should be. With skillful hands, he shaped his life and called it destiny. And I do not know who wrote that